welcome to the channel everybody. As you can see behind me, this is the Paramount Theatre in Seattle, Washington, which plays role to the Pinnacle Theatre in The Last of Us Part 2. While I'm here for 2 days in Seattle, I decided I'm going to take you on a walk around of some of the most famous scenes from the game in the downtown Seattle area in as much detail as possible. So let's get on with it and let's get this one going.
We'll start this video off on 5th Avenue here in Seattle. If you notice the public libraries at the side of us, which features in the downtown Seattle area, the open world area where we're on horseback with Dina. What we're going to do, I'm going to start here at this restaurant on the corner. It's called the Tulio restaurant, but in the game it's Ruston Coffee. I'll run the PS5 recordings that I'll do from here and I'll show you how similar it is in real life, and then we'll head up 5th Avenue. And here we are right outside the United States courthouse, and obviously you go in there to find the fuel. It's infested with infected, you have to fight your way through. Of course it's all overgrown in the game itself. Yeah. And then we'll carry on up 5th Avenue. So one little detail that I want to point out, you see the shape of that building in front? It's just like the game. And then we'll come over this way, and that's Madison Street Market Deli. It's on the corner of 5th Avenue and Marion Street. Now in the game, this is the Valiant music store, and that canopy right there, the windows just about where I'm pointing, that's where you go into the music store, where she plays the Take On Me tune with Dina. It's like set up as though it's that building right there. Attention to detail, I love it. And then we're going to move on to a building from the game that you players will definitely recognise. Right in front of us right there is the Dome building. It's obviously the synagogue in the game, what you go inside and she learns a little bit about Dina's family history and whatnot. But in real life it's called the Sanctuary, and it's part of this big building right here, which is the Lottie Hotel. And it's actually the #1 hotel on TripAdvisor to stay in Seattle. So yeah, there it is. Really cool. So we keep heading down 5th Avenue and we come to this building here, which is the tallest building in Seattle. It's called the Columbia Center. And when you come to this in game, this right here is where the tank's parked, and you know, Ellie jumps on the top of the tank, and her and Dina have a conversation about astronauts and what have you.
Yikes. These guys had a bad day.
And then the map kind of finishes there. Obviously to this side, that's the bank. You can go in the bank underneath and everything. But yeah, I'm going to finish this section right here at the Columbia Center, the full length of Fifth Avenue section of the downtown part of the map. So we're going to still follow on from day one in Seattle with Ellie and Dina, and that's the Space Needle right there, but right across the street in the Seattle Centre area here is this place. It's the Como 4 news station, which is the KMAB Channel 13 news, I believe, in the game. And you obviously head there as part of one of your destinations, and you get pinned down and have to fight your way out. But this is like in the Seattle Centre region by the Space Needle, which isn't actually geographically accurate in the game as such. This is kind of like a different area. It's like more close to Capitol Hill in the game. But yeah, cool to see that building. Straight out of the game, looks just the same.
What do you say we rest in that theater?
So we've come to the end of day one, and Ellie and Dina have holed themselves up right here. The Paramount, better known in the game as the Pinnacle, just sits there just as it does in the game. And actually built in 1927. It's really old. It was one of many that Paramount Pictures built back in the day, so they could like distribute the films in the early days. But yeah, it's a really cool place. Straight out of the game, as you can see, there's like some steps there, and that's where you'd see Abby infiltrating right at the end of day 3 on her side of the story. Really cool building to see. I'm just going to get a closer look and check it out. Now, unfortunately, I can't go inside because it's really early in the morning. It's only like 6:30 AM, so it's a shame because it has got the same layout inside as it does in the game. You could probably just see through the door a little bit there. It's all quite grand. There's the balcony above when you first go in the foyer. Those are the game, I'll probably recognise that straight away, but if we were a bit later on in the day, I'd have checked it out. Right outside the theatre right here, so we're going to take it from day 3 where Ellie and Jessie take this walk, and it's actually the same walk I'm going to take back to my hotel, which is just down the street from here. So I'm just going to run you through that, through the convention centre area, and just show you the route they take in real life compared to the game.
Let's do it.
So I've just come out of the theatre there in the pouring rain, which it is here, which is quite fitting right now.
How does anyone stay dry in this city?
And we're going to head this way on the route that they actually take in the game. So I'm going to show you the similarities around that area on this section. So this building is called the Dough Zone, and it's actually like a noodle bar that you'll see in the game, very similar. And then we're going to walk down here, and you'll see the convention section. And they kind of walk around into the convention area, and they walk around in a loop in the game because of the way the landscape's set out with all the flooding. So we'll take it from there. Again, it's very fitting that it's raining here actually, but I'll just point this section out. So this is where they head through the Seattle Convention Center arch. You see there it says public parking right there. That's exactly the same, and that hotel, you see the building right there, that's actually my hotel that I'm staying in, and you can actually see it in comparison to the game on this section. It's called the Grand Hyatt. So yeah, from there we're going to hot foot it under the archway and loop around. So
So just go under the convention centre right here, just out of the range, absolutely chucking it down. All this section's blocked off, so they kind of head into these buildings, and then they bear around and into this section where you end up fighting some of the wolves, and then you work your way around to the top of here and to the right. We're going to walk up there and check that out. Jesse and Ellie have finished seeing off a few of the wolves right here, and this is the main body of the Seattle Convention Center, as it says over there, and that's where they have all the flags for the Comic Con, and they refer to being a Comic Con in the area as they work their way through the building, and that's Pike Street right there. And this is 8th Avenue where I'm standing on, leading on to Pike Street, but they work their way down to 6th Avenue in the game, where it's all flooded, so let's continue on. And unlike the game, the weather's actually easing up, so that's a good thing. But I'd just like to show you all this because it's the attention to detail and why such as these games cost as much as they do. And in this city, the game is so accurate geographically in real life. It's quite amazing, to be fair. As a fan of the game, it's cool to see how it's realistically laid out. And then just even the little details. They have to climb across some things here, a lot of broken parts of the landscape, and just that restaurant over there, you see those green awnings like that? Even those is visible in the game itself. Details. So we're going to leave the archway and cross over 7th Avenue and work our way down to 6th Avenue, and that's where they continue on.
Look at this mess.
The aquarium. It's right next to that Ferris wheel.
Okay, so that brings us onto the corner of Pine Street and 6th Avenue. And when they look down this section of the Pike Street right here, that's when they can see that the whole place is just flooded out and there's nowhere to go through when they do the swimming section. I'll obviously put these on screen as well to show you. But there we have 6th Avenue. So this building right here would be the area that they climb up into, and then Jesse and Ellie have a bit of a conversation and they work through onto this street right here. And if I zoom in, you will see, we'll walk down here, we'll see that there's Nordstrom department store in the background. In the game it's called Norkirk, if you notice that detail. So we'll work our way down there to the end of this section. So as you can see in front of me, there's Nordstrom, and that sign, if you take close attention to detail, you'll see that it's actually on the ground, broken. But one thing you will notice is the bridge right there. So they head into the Nordstrom store right here, and they work their way through. You can see all the mannequins in the old shop fronts, and then you end up on top of that walkway bridge, and then into this building right here.
Let's try through here.
Into this building right here that's called Pacific Place, and inside Pacific Place is the flooded section where Ellie fights through some wolves through the escalator so she can essentially steal the boat. And it just so happens that this building also is laid out the same as the game, so we'll show you inside.
Just out of reach, and all these words they'll lay on the land, rest like the tools of my hand. Can't see me this ecstasy. And I am breaking up in evening lights. Eyes are blind.
Is the sky bridge from Nordstrom to Pacific Place, as you can see out of the window, and they walk on the roof of here to get across to this building, and that's where Ellie and Jessie have a little bit of a disagreement, and she goes it alone in this place.
We can get to the marina through here.
No, we're taking a boat.
It's called Pacific Place. I think it's called like Seaport or something in the game. And then it's all this area where you're fighting wolves trying to get to the boat, and it's all flooded at the bottom. So you see the roof, it's like a half moon roof, just like you see in the game. And then all the levels going down. And you fight your way through all this, and all this lower level's all flooded. Again, I'll put some clips up on screen to replicate it, hopefully.
Yeah, so right there, that was the loop that Ellie and Jessie take on day 3 of The Last of Us that finishes just down here in Pacific Place. Really cool details in the game compared to the location itself, and we'll move on.
By the side of the aquarium, and here's what they call the Seattle Great Wheel, and you'll notice that from day 1 with Abby when she has the memory wheel in, where they're riding the wheel together and he's scaring and they end up jumping in the water. It's a nice little touch in the game, that bit. Yeah, it's right here at the side of the aquarium. A lot of construction going off here, but yeah. You first see the aquarium, of course, with Ellie at the end of day 3 when she escapes the flooded city to infiltrate it and find Abby. So here we are just outside the Seattle Aquarium, that also plays a pivotal role in The Last of Us Part 2, because it's where Abby's holed up and Owen's holed up. And again, inside that building you can see that it's quite the same in real life. I'll put some pictures on screen. But yeah, when Ellie finishes day 3, she heads right here through the flooded city. Really cool end to that sequence of events. Brings us here to day 3 with Abby, and she makes her way down this, which is the Lenora Street walkway, I believe it's called, an elevator, and at the top, like where them people are, and she comes down here with Yara all the way to the bottom, and she makes her way across here, what's all overgrown. And if you look here, this is actually an outer service railway track, but in the game there's actually a carriage here, and you have to walk through it, and it's all overgrown, and then all the road in front there is destroyed, and she has to go down into water and back up.
Get down!
It's nothing!
So when Abby finally gets off the street, she ends up in this area here, and she takes chase over this bridge right here.
Get the pressure up!
And she ends up in this area, which is the cruise terminal. and that's at the point where she ends up throwing Tommy in the water, and then moving on with Yara to get back to Lev.
Screw it.
Pretty cool to see this. It's exactly laid out as it is in the game in real life. Attention to detail, I love it. So yeah, that brings it to the end of that video, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I thought while I'm in Seattle for a couple of nights, I just wanted to do this video because it's my favourite game. I think it's the best game ever made, in my opinion. If I had more time here, I would have gone to such areas as Capitol Hill, maybe to the stadium, to the Chinatown area, to see more of what's in the game itself. But I haven't got time. I'm only here for 2 nights. I've come over from England. I've never been to Seattle before, but yeah, while I'm out and about, I really wanted to do this one. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. And with that being said, for my regular subscribers, obviously this is a very different kind of video, but it's like a bonus one for the trip I'm doing. But like I said, with that being said, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.